there's electricity in the air this Friday morning. We're less than 24 hours or so from the No Kings Day rallies. Good morning, it's Kelly Nash, the National Briefing, and yes, America will be awash with purple-haired lunatics tomorrow in every major city and even a lot of smaller towns where they want to rally against the tyranny of Donald J. Trump, the No Kings. We just had this, didn't we? We had it in June. And if I go and look, by the way, and again, this is a mainstream media report, they say that this was the largest ever single-day political protest in history. They reran the numbers in July and said that if you look back on that June protest, there was an estimated 6 million Americans came out, topping the previous record of 5.6 million. And you know what they showed up for? I love the name of it. Was this actually the name and I forgot that that was the name? The 2017 Women's March to Rally Against Trump's Misogynistic Rhetoric. Put that on a t-shirt. I was at the 2017 Women's March to Rally Against Trump's Misogynistic Rhetoric. The only thing I really remember about that protest was they had handed out a lot of hats that had vaginas on them. I didn't understand that. Like, why that? Were we supposed to be afraid of that? What is that? Anyway, that's the way the left thinks. If we wear, and maybe they gave those to guys who could then identify as females. I don't know. Maybe that's why Katanya Jackson Brown is confused. I can't identify a woman. That person has a vagina on their head. Maybe they're a woman. I don't know. But either way, that was the previous record according to mainstream media. Now it's the No Kings protest from June of this year. But we have to trumpet. Yeah, that's the word we're going to use. We have to trumpet. We got to get everybody out again tomorrow. The first one you'll hear, Gavin, the man who would be president, Gavin Newsom.
No Kings, a declaration of independence against the tyranny, against lawlessness in the context that there was no rule of law. It was the rule of king.
That's actually a law.
And I think increasingly people are waking up to the rule of law in this country, increasingly appearing to be the rule of Don.
That's kind of a stretch, Gavin. I mean, not really to split a lot of hairs, but if the king made the law, it's still a law. There's always been laws in every civilized society. Maybe you don't like who picked the laws, but Donald Trump is not making the laws. Donald Trump is trying to enforce the laws we currently have on the books, like no illegal immigration. That's one of those laws that you find an unfortunate truth, but you don't like it. So rather than change it, you're going to blame Trump for enforcing it? Okay, that's a hot take. But, you know, there's nobody who prattled on longer on Thursday, getting people hyped up for the No Kings Day than Chuck Schumer. Now, unfortunately, time prohibits me from giving you all 18 minutes of the Chuck Schumer speech, but here's about 60 seconds of it.
Do not let Donald Trump or Republicans intimidate you into silence. That is what they want. That is how dictators evolve, when good people of all different beliefs and backgrounds stay silent. No Kings Day says we will not stay silent.
Don't stay silent.
This weekend's No Kings rallies will be an affirmation about what America is all about. We are a democracy in America. We have no kings, despite the fact that Trump has even said he wants to become one and is acting in ways that are a threat to our democracy. And I say to my fellow citizens, do not let Donald Trump or Republicans intimidate you into silence. That's what they want to do. They're afraid of the truth. Republicans are going apoplectic because Americans are exercising their right to free speech. I say to Americans, show the world how much we love this country, how much we love our values, how much we love our democracy and want to preserve it. And don't be afraid. Trump and the Republicans want you to be afraid. They don't like free speech. When it's free speech, they don't want to hear.
Boy, so I'm sure some Democrat strategist worked really hard to come up with that kind of messaging. Chuck did not a very good deliverer of it. But basically the message is, if you are brave, you'll show up tomorrow. If you're not at the No Kings rally, you've revealed yourself to be a coward. Or you don't love America. One of those two things. You're either a coward or you don't love America if you're not at the No Kings rally. That's the gist of what they said. And then he also throws in this whole idea that Republicans hate free speech. We hate the fact that we have to keep correcting you because you keep lying. We're not stopping your free speech, Chuck. Democrats are free to lie all over the place on mainstream media, on social media. You guys lie. It's tiring trying to counter it, but we're not trying to squash it in any way, unlike what y'all did when y'all was in power. Let me take you back to 2023. This is the Fifth Circuit. They are responding to a lawsuit from the Republicans regarding federal interference from the Biden administration. And I'm just going to read to you from the opinion of the three judges, Judges Edith Brown Clement, Jennifer Walker Elrod, and Don Willett. Quote, a group of federal officials has been in regular contact with nearly every major American social media company about the spread of what they call misinformation on those platforms. In their concern, these federal officials, hailing from the White House, that was Biden's White House, the CDC, the FBI, and other federal agencies urged the platforms to remove the, quote, disfavored content and the accounts that posted it from their sites. That's how you squash free speech. If you want to look at the party of tyranny, it's the Democrats. The Democrats are the ones who hate free speech. The Democrats are the ones who, when doctors would tell you that there has not been enough testing on the COVID vaccine, they were deplatformed. When doctors said that trying to stop the spread of a virus like COVID by wearing a mask, it's the same as trying to put up a chain link fence and hoping that it keeps the ants out of your yards. They were deplatformed. That was the science. They were the science. Not Fauci, who told you back in 2018 he had a vested interest in spreading the Myrna vaccine. He was vested into this. And he said at the World Health Organization, if we were able to get a pandemic, people would beg us for the Myrna vaccine, and then we could do a group test that would have substance. Anybody, by the way, can you find that video anymore? No, that has been removed permanently from the entire internet. I'm sure it survived somewhere on some dark website that some Republican holds. But for the most part, that has been removed. Fauci at the World Health Organization 2018, gone. But I saw it, and thousands, probably millions of people saw it. We knew what Fauci was all about. Anyway, back to tomorrow. The No Kings Foundation is, nokings.org is the website. If you want to find out where your local rally will be tomorrow, so you can be a part of the biggest single-day protest in American history. And I appreciate that, when you go through it, they talk about the special trainings that they've had, the toolkits, how you can print off signs, but more importantly, the partners. Who are the partners? Because somebody has to pay for this, right? And it turns out that you could almost cut and paste from the Wikipedia page of one George Soros the organizations that are funding this. In case you're wondering, George Soros funds not only the Open Society Foundation, New America, Media Matters for America, Center for Public Integrity, Priorities USA Action, American Bridge 21st Century, America Votes, Millennium Promise, Tide Center and Foundation, MoveOn.org, and America Coming Together. They all sound wonderful. They all do the same thing, try to destroy freedom. That's what they're about, destroying freedom. Now, this is they're literally throwing up a Hail Mary. This is what's happening because poll after poll is showing that Americans are rejecting not just individual Democrat candidates. They are rejecting the ideas of the Democrats. More centralized government. Donald Trump was called a dictator back in 2020 when he was talking about, well, let the states decide. Let the counties decide if they want to have a mask policy, not the federal government. Let the local people decide. Let the people decide if they want to have abortion at whatever weeks or months. Let the people decide. Let the people decide if they want to have anything, if they want to have gay marriage. Let the people decide. He's then called a tyrant and a king because he said, let the local states, let the local counties decide on just about all these issues, which, by the way, is what the Constitution says. It says if it's not covered in the Constitution, those powers are reserved for the states. Donald Trump was following the Constitution and hammered by the Democrats for that as a tyrant and a king by trying to give power back to the people. And I have one final warning for you people tomorrow at your No Kings rally. You've got the people all worked up into a frenzy. We've learned from you that if any of these rallies happen to have any kind of violence, then this is an insurrection. That's what you've taught us, so you better tread lightly tomorrow.